Hello there and welcome to Deep Sleep Science. I'm so glad you found your way here. Tonight, as the world slowly folds itself into quiet, I'd like to invite you to set everything down. Let your shoulders soften, let your jaw release, let the weight of the day melt away like warm honey, sliding from a silver spoon. There is nothing left to do now. Nothing left to solve. Nothing left to carry. The hours behind you have already done their part, and the hours ahead can wait, patient as moonlight resting on a still lake. Tonight, our slow and gentle journey will drift through one of the most quietly beautiful landscapes inside you, the world of emotions and the soft, ancient region of the brain known as the limbic system. It is a place of glowing rivers and warm caverns, of feelings that bloom like night flowers and memories that shimmer like fireflies above tall summer grass. Here lives your tenderness, your wonder, your laughter, your love. Here, deep within, are the gentle architects of every smile you have ever made. If you find yourself enjoying this slow, soothing journey, you may quietly tap the like button and softly subscribe to Deep Sleep Science. It helps these long, calming nights find others who, like you, are searching for rest. There is no rush, only when you feel like it, only when it feels right. Now, let your breathing grow slow and steady, like waves washing up on a moonlit shore. Let your eyelids feel heavy as warm velvet. Let the room around you grow softer, kinder, more dreamlike with every passing moment. So settle in. Pull the blanket close. Sink a little deeper into the pillow, and let's begin this slow and soothing journey together. Imagine, for a moment, that we are walking together along a path lit by soft lanterns. The air is warm. The trees are tall and silent. Somewhere ahead, a doorway glows gently, opening into the quiet inner country of feeling, the place where emotions live, where the limbic system hums like a hearth at the center of an old and beloved house. With each slow step, the noise of the world grows fainter. With each slow breath, you grow lighter. And as we cross the threshold, the first soft fact awaits us, like a candle waiting to be noticed. Deep within the soft folds of your brain rests a quiet kingdom called the limbic system. Picture it as a warm, dimly lit chamber, glowing like a hearth in an old stone cottage. Here, feelings drift like soft smoke, curling slowly through the air. Joy hums in one corner like a sleepy cat. Wonder shimmers in another, like a window catching candlelight. This gentle place has been with you since the moment you took your first breath, faithful as moonlight on a still pond. It does not shout. It does not rush. It simply tends the inner fire of who you are, keeping you warm, keeping you whole. And tonight, as you rest, this quiet kingdom rests too, dimming its lanterns one by one, settling into the slow, sweet hush that comes only when the world has finally agreed to be still. At the heart of this gentle kingdom lies a small, almond-shaped chamber called the amygdala. Imagine it as a tiny lantern keeper, soft-footed and kind, pacing slowly through long marble halls. Its task is simple, to notice what matters, and to whisper softly when something stirs the heart. Tonight, that little lantern keeper has set down its lamp. The halls are quiet. The marble floors are cool and pale, washed in moonlight. There is no shadow worth chasing, no wind worth watching. The amygdala leans against a soft pillow of silence, and its small flame dims to the gentlest amber. Even the bravest of inner watchers must rest, must dream, must lay its head upon the velvet of stillness. And so it does. And so, slowly, do you, breathing in time with that tender little keeper of feelings, just beside the amygdala curls another quiet companion, the hippocampus, shaped like a sleeping seahorse. Picture a small creature drifting in warm, dark water, its tail coiled gently, its breath barely a ripple. The hippocampus is the keeper of memory, the librarian of all your softest moments. It holds the smell of your grandmother's kitchen, the laughter of an old friend, the warmth of a summer afternoon long ago. Tonight, it floats in slow, sleepy circles, sorting these memories like sea glass on a quiet shore. Each one shimmers, then settles. Each one is placed gently on a velvet shelf inside you. The seahorse drifts. The shelves grow still, and somewhere within, all your most beloved moments rest like polished stones beneath calm water, glowing faintly, never lost, always yours. Above these tender chambers winds the cingulate cortex, a soft ribbon of pearl-colored silk wrapped gently around the deeper rooms of feeling. Imagine it as a long, slow river of light, curving through the inner landscape of your mind. It carries the quiet conversations between thought and emotion, between knowing and feeling, like a barge gliding through still water at twilight. Tonight, the river slows. Its surface grows glassy. The lanterns floating upon it dim to the color of warm tea. Everything that has been thought today, every small worry, every fleeting wonder drifts downstream, carried away by the gentle current. The cingulate cortex breathes with you, soft and slow, slow and soft, until even the river itself seems to fall asleep, glimmering faintly beneath a sky full of dreaming stars. Tucked deep beneath these rooms sits the hypothalamus, a small, kind gardener, no larger than a pearl. Picture it tending a quiet greenhouse, where every plant is a feeling, every blossom a gentle rhythm of the body. It waters the slow tide of your breathing. It dims the lights when night arrives. It softens the hum of your heart when sleep draws near. Tonight, the little gardener walks the rows of its greenhouse with a small brass watering can, sprinkling drops of moonlight upon every leaf. The flowers fold their petals. The vines curl into themselves. The greenhouse grows warm and dim and fragrant. And the gardener, smiling softly, sits down upon a small wooden stool, content that all is well, content that you are safe, content that the quiet hours have come at last. The thalamus, round and luminous, sits at the center of the brain like a great pearl resting in a velvet bowl. Imagine it as a soft, glowing moon, gathering the gentle whispers of every sense, the warmth of your blanket, the hush of the room, the slow rhythm of your own breath, and folding them into one quiet song. Tonight, the moon dims. The whispers grow faint. The senses themselves seem to lie down, one by one, like tired children settling into their beds. The thalamus glows the color of candle wax, soft and creamy, and the velvet bowl beneath it sighs with contentment. There is nothing more to gather, nothing more to listen for, only the deep, slow lullaby of the body, sung in a language older than words, older than the stars. Among the oldest rhythms within you lives the ancient pulse of feeling, older than language, older than memory, older even than the first dreams of the first dreaming creatures. Imagine a deep underground spring, hidden beneath layers of warm stone, bubbling softly in the dark. This is the source from which all emotion flows. Joy rises from it. Tenderness rises from it. Wonder, awe, gentle longing, all of them are born in that quiet, secret water. Tonight, the spring murmurs softly to itself, content in its own slow song. No storms trouble its surface. No echoes disturb its depths. It simply gives, as it has always given, the soft and steady gift of feeling, the warm reminder that you are alive, that you are here, that you are held by something older and kinder than you will ever know. Feelings, scientists say, often arrive before thoughts do, like soft mist rolling in before the morning fully wakes. Picture a quiet valley at dawn, where the air is cool and pearl gray, and tendrils of fog drift across the meadows long before the sun lifts its head. This is how emotion moves within you. Before the mind names a thing, the body has already felt it. A warmth in the chest, a softening of the shoulders, a quiet hum somewhere behind the heart. Tonight, the mist of feeling drifts gently through your inner valley, asking nothing, demanding nothing, simply moving with the slow grace of fog over wet grass. You breathe with it. You belong to it. And as the mist thickens into dream, the valley grows quiet, soft, untouched, beautifully still. The limbic system, gentle as it is, has been with humans for many thousands of generations. Imagine a long, candlelit corridor stretching backward through time, lined with soft tapestries showing the faces of every ancestor who has ever loved, ever wondered, ever felt the small ache of beauty. Each of them carried this same warm chamber inside them. Each of them dreamed beneath the same stars you see tonight. The corridor stretches on, lit by countless tiny flames, each one a heart that once beat, each one a soul that once rested. Tonight, you are simply the newest in that long, gentle line. The candles flicker softly around you. The tapestries breathe. And somewhere down the corridor, you can almost hear the slow, steady lullaby of belonging, sung by every dreaming heart that came before. Within the limbic system, joy is said to bloom in the small, quiet gardens of the nucleus accumbens. Picture a hidden meadow filled with luminous flowers, pale gold, soft pink, gentle silver, each one opening only when something kind has happened. A warm cup of tea, a familiar voice, the first bite of a favorite meal. Tonight, the meadow is bathed in moonlight, and the flowers are folded shut, sleeping the sweet sleep of contentment. They do not need to bloom now. They have bloomed enough today. They rest, like tiny lanterns turned low, dreaming of the next gentle thing that will wake them. And you rest with them, breathing the faint perfume of all the small joys that have already happened, and all the small joys that are quietly waiting for tomorrow. Memory, woven through the limbic system, often arrives wrapped in feeling, like a letter sealed with a soft ribbon. Picture an old wooden chest in a quiet attic, where every drawer is filled not with paper, but with sensations: the smell of rain on warm stone, the sound of bells in a faraway town, the feel of cool sheets on a summer night. The hippocampus opens these drawers with patient hands, always gentle, always careful. Tonight, the attic is dim and warm, lit by a single candle in a brass holder. The chest sits closed, its ribbons resting softly. Nothing needs to be opened now. Every memory is safe. Every memory is loved. The candle flickers low, and the attic settles into a hush as deep and tender as the inside of a velvet jewel box, glowing faintly in the dark. The brain, scientists say, processes about a third of its emotional life through the limbic system. Imagine a vast, slow river that winds through a forest of pale silver trees. A third of all the small boats upon this river, the boats of feeling, of memory, of warmth, drift through the limbic glade, where the water is calmest and the moss grows softest along the banks. Tonight the boats float lazily, their lanterns hanging low. Some carry old joys, some carry quiet wonders, some carry nothing at all but the gentle company of the current. The trees lean inward, their leaves whispering an old, soft lullaby. The water hums beneath the boats, and you, drifting along with them, become just another small lantern in the procession, glowing faintly, traveling slowly, carried home by the river of feeling. The word emotion itself comes from a softer, older root, meaning simply to move. Picture a quiet ballroom lit by warm candles, where feelings are dancers gliding slowly across a polished wooden floor. They do not rush, they do not collide. They turn in long, graceful circles, each one wearing a gown of soft color, the deep violet of contentment, the pale gold of wonder, the rose of tenderness. Tonight the music has slowed to a hush. The dancers move as if underwater, their gowns trailing behind them like ribbons of mist. One by one they drift to the edges of the ballroom and sit upon velvet benches, fanning themselves slowly. The candles burn low, the wooden floor cools, and the great hall settles into a deep, soft silence, where every dancer is at peace, and every step has been beautifully taken. Tenderness, that softest of feelings, is thought to bloom in the warm crescent of the orbitofrontal cortex. Imagine a small chapel deep within the brain, lit by amber light streaming through stained glass, where the air smells faintly of beeswax and old wood. This is where kindness gathers, where compassion folds its hands and rests upon a velvet cushion. Tonight, the chapel is empty of all but the softest hush. The candles in their iron holders burn low and steady. The stained glass dims to the color of dusk roses, and tenderness itself, that quiet, dignified visitor, sits in the front pew with its eyes closed, breathing slowly, thinking of all the small kindnesses you have given and received in your life. The chapel grows warm with these thoughts, and you, listening from afar, feel your own heart soften like wax beside a flame. Curiosity, scientists tell us, lights small fires of dopamine in the limbic system. Picture a dim woodland at twilight, where here and there, tiny golden lanterns hang from the lower branches of the trees. Each lantern is a moment of wonder, a question asked, a beautiful thing noticed, a gentle mystery glimpsed in the corner of the eye. Tonight, the lanterns burn low. The woodland is hushed, blanketed in soft blue mist. The squirrels and small birds have all settled into their nests. Curiosity, gentle traveler that it is, has folded its cloak and lain down upon a bed of moss beneath a wide sleeping tree. It dreams of tomorrow's wonders, of new lanterns to light, of new mysteries to discover. But for now it rests, and the lanterns dim to the softest amber, and the forest sleeps with it, deep and dreaming. Inside the limbic system, the hippocampus is sometimes called the cartographer of the heart. Picture a kindly old mapmaker, working by candlelight in a small wooden study, sketching the soft geography of every place you have ever loved. The bend of a familiar street, the shape of a childhood window, the curve of a favorite chair. Each map is drawn in golden ink on pale, creamy paper and rolled gently into a leather scroll. Tonight, the mapmaker has set down his pen. The candles in his study burn low and amber. The scrolls rest in their tall wooden cabinet, each one labeled with a tiny beloved name. The mapmaker leans back in his chair, smiling softly to himself. The maps will keep. They have always kept, and the slow, sweet darkness of sleep settles over his study like a thick wool blanket. Emotions, scientists believe, may have first appeared in the very oldest creatures of the sea. Imagine the deep ocean millions of years ago, where small, soft beings drifted through warm, lightless water, feeling the first faint tugs of comfort and unease. From those ancient flickers, all of human feelings slowly grew like a great coral reef rising from a single quiet polyp. Tonight, the ocean within you remembers this old, gentle origin. The water is dark and warm, and somewhere, deep beneath, a single tiny light pulses softly, the first ancestor of every feeling you have ever known. The water hums around it, the current is slow, and as you drift in this inner sea, you carry with you the quiet inheritance of every feeling creature that has ever lived. Glowing faintly, softly, the way deep water glows beneath a sleeping moon. The vagus nerve, that long, gentle wanderer, connects your brain to your heart, your lungs, your soft and quiet belly. Imagine it as a slender silver river, winding through the warm valley of your body, touching every shore with kindness. When you breathe slowly, the river slows. When the river slows, the heart softens. When the heart softens, the limbic system glows like a low fire on a winter evening. Tonight, your breath grows long and easy. The silver river ripples gently. The heart, the lungs, the belly all sigh together, like neighbors closing their windows for the night. The valley dims. The lanterns along the riverbanks flicker low, and the slow, kind current of the Vegas carries every last whisper of the day downstream, where it dissolves into the great sea of sleep, vast and dark and infinitely gentle. The limbic system is sometimes called the emotional brain, but it might just as well be called the storyteller. Picture a small fireside in the heart of the mind, where an old, grey-bearded narrator sits in a wooden rocking chair, weaving the tales of your day into soft, lyrical verse. He does not judge. He does not edit. He simply turns each moment into a quiet song. Tonight, his voice has fallen to a hush. The fire crackles low. The book on his lap is closed, its pages golden in the dim light. He sets it gently beside the chair, pulls a knit blanket over his shoulders, and closes his eyes. The stories will keep till morning. They always keep, and the firelight settles into a deep, glowing ember, warming the inner cottage as you, too, slip beneath the covers of sleep. Feelings, like clouds, are said to pass through us, never quite belonging to us, always simply visiting. Imagine a quiet hilltop at dusk, where you sit on a soft wool blanket, watching white clouds drift slowly across a violet sky. Some are tall and stately. Some are wisps no thicker than breath. Each one comes, shows its shape, and gently moves on its slow journey toward elsewhere. Tonight, the clouds within you do the same. A small ache, a small joy, a small wondering. Each one drifts across the wide sky of your inner landscape, and each one passes, leaving the sky cleaner, calmer, deeper than before. The hilltop grows dim, the blanket grows warm, and the last cloud, pale as silver foil, floats slowly out of sight, leaving the sky open, and ready for stars. Within the limbic system, scientists have found tiny constellations of cells that glow softly when we feel safe. Picture the inner sky of your mind dotted with these gentle stars, small, faint, and warm like fireflies in a summer field. Each one twinkles when a kind word is spoken, when a soft hand is held, when the body sinks into a familiar bed. Tonight, the constellations of safety shine all at once, low and steady, mapping the heavens of your inner peace. There are no shooting stars here, no restless meteors, only the slow, abiding gleam of belonging, of being held, of knowing even without thinking that you are home. The stars hum quietly. The sky deepens to indigo, and the soft constellations watch over you, faithful as old friends, until the long night carries you fully into rest. The amygdala, that tiny lantern keeper, is also sometimes called the keeper of meaning. It does not tell you what is true. It tells you what matters. Imagine it standing at the door of a great library, quietly marking certain books with a small ribbon of gold, so that you may find them again in the years to come. The smell of your mother's perfume, the sound of rain on a tin roof, the taste of bread on a winter morning. Tonight, the lantern keeper has finished marking today's pages. The library is hushed. The golden ribbons rest gently against the spines of the books. And the keeper, with a small, satisfied smile, blows out his lantern and walks softly down the long corridor of the mind, where every book sleeps and every meaning rests upon its shelf. Music, scientists have shown, moves directly into the limbic system, like soft rain falling on a thirsty meadow. Imagine a quiet song slipping past every gate of thought and arriving directly at the heart's hidden garden, where it waters the small flowers of memory and feeling. A familiar melody, a long-loved chord, a few notes from a half-remembered lullaby. Tonight, the inner meadow of feeling is wet with this gentle music. The grass glows faintly silver. The petals of the small night flowers tremble with the soft drops. There is no need to know the song. There is no need to remember its name. The music simply falls, and the meadow simply receives it, and the air grows fragrant with the sweet, damp scent of feeling watered, of feeling tended, of feeling gently put to bed. The brain, as it falls into sleep, slowly dims the lanterns of the limbic system, one by one. Picture a long marble hallway lined with soft amber lamps. A quiet caretaker walks the hall, lowering each flame with a gentle twist of a small brass key. Click. The lamp of worry dims. Click. The lamp of striving dims. Click. The lamp of holding on dims. Tonight, the caretaker walks slowly, taking his time with each lamp, letting the light fade as gently as autumn dusk over a quiet field. By the end of the hall, only the smallest amber glow remains, the lantern of being, soft and steady, the one that never fully goes out. And the caretaker, satisfied, sits down upon a velvet bench, folds his hands, and watches the darkness fold around him like a long, kind cloak. Scientists tell us that gentle touch, a soft hand on the shoulder, the warm weight of a blanket, calms the limbic system within seconds. Imagine the inner kingdom hearing the quiet news that all is well. The lanterns dim. The pathways soften. The little gardener of the hypothalamus pauses in his work and smiles. Tonight, the weight of your blanket is exactly such a message. It says, you are safe. It says, you are held. It says, you may rest. Every fiber of fabric is a small, kind voice. Every soft fold is a quiet promise. The inner kingdom listens and bows its head and folds its hands and begins the long, slow ceremony of letting go. And you, beneath that gentle weight, become as still as a stone in a deep and dreamless lake, glowing faintly, infinitely loved. Within the limbic system, the insula listens to the body's quietest whispers. Picture a small, soft-eared creature curled inside a velvet alcove, listening for the gentle hum of the heart, the slow tide of the breath, the warm flicker of the belly settling into ease. The insula hears all that the body wishes to say and translates it into the soft language of feeling. Tonight, the body whispers only of comfort. The pillow is kind. The blankets are warm. The room is hushed and dim. The little listener inside you nods, content, and folds its small velvet ears against its head. There is nothing more to hear, nothing more to interpret, only the long, low hum of a body at peace, sung into the quiet alcove like a lullaby pressed gently against the ear of one who is already half asleep. Laughter, scientists say, lights the limbic system like sudden sunlight upon a hidden meadow. Imagine a long winter's morning when the clouds part for just a moment and a single beam of gold spills across the snow. That is what laughter does inside the brain. It warms the chambers. It brightens the pathways. It scatters tiny seeds of joy along the inner trails. Tonight, you do not need to laugh. You only need to remember a small, soft chuckle from somewhere in your past. A friend's gentle joke. A child's bright giggle. The quiet snort of a beloved companion. The memory itself is enough to send a faint glow through the inner meadow, where the snow becomes soft, the air becomes warm, and a single golden beam settles upon the heart, lighting it just gently enough for sleep to take its hand. The brain holds within it ancient pathways for awe, those quiet, breath-stilling moments when the world feels suddenly vast and beautiful. Picture a small boat drifting across an endless dark lake at night, beneath a sky thick with stars. The water is glass. The stars are countless. The little boat hums softly with the wonder of being so small inside something so grand. Tonight, the inner sky of your limbic system holds all the awe you have ever felt. The first sight of the sea, the hush of a cathedral, the quiet of falling snow. These memories shimmer overhead like constellations, gentle and unreachable. The little boat drifts on, its lantern dim, its sail loose. And the wonder of having been alive, of having seen such things, settles upon you like the warm hand of an old friend. Affection, that softest of all human currents, flows through the limbic system like warm milk poured into a porcelain cup. Picture a quiet kitchen at midnight, where someone you love has set a small cup before you, steam rising in slow, curling ribbons. The kitchen is dim. The wooden table is smooth. The cup is warm in your hands. Tonight, the inner kitchen of your feeling holds every soft affection you have ever known, every kind word, every gentle hug, every quiet companion. They rise like that warm steam, slow and curling, filling the room with a faint sweetness. You do not need to drink the milk. You do not need to do anything at all. The warmth itself is the gift. And the kitchen, lit only by the small flame of the stove, settles into a tender, dreaming hush. The limbic system is deeply tied to the rhythm of breath. Imagine the quiet bellows of an old village blacksmith, slow and patient, breathing the forge fire to a soft amber glow. Each breath of yours stirs the inner fire of feeling, slowly when you are calm, gently when you're at peace. Tonight, your breath is the slowest bellows in the world. In and out, in and out. The inner forge glows the color of late firelight, warm and welcoming. There is no metal to shape, no work to do. The blacksmith has set his hammer aside. He sits beside the fire on a small wooden stool, his hands folded, his eyes closing. The forge dims with his breath. The whole village dims with him. And you, breathing in time, dim too. Into the softest dark, scientists have discovered that even the smallest acts of kindness ripple gently through the limbic system, like pebbles dropped into still water. Imagine a quiet pond at evening, its surface the color of bronze. A small kindness, a smile given, a door held open, a soft word spoken, falls into the pond like a single pebble. The ripples spread outward, slow and round, lapping gently against the mossy banks. Tonight, every small kindness of your life is a pebble already given, and the pond is full of slow, glowing rings, layered upon one another like the patterns of an ancient mosaic. The pond breathes softly. The bronze surface catches the moonlight, and the rings continue, drifting outward forever, telling the long, patient story of every gentle thing you have ever offered to the world and every gentle thing the world has offered back. The cingulate cortex, that pearl-colored ribbon, helps your feelings and your thoughts hold hands. Imagine two soft companions walking together along a quiet beach at dusk, one named Feeling, one named Thought. Their fingers are loosely laced, their footsteps are slow. The waves wash up beside them in long, easy curves. Tonight, the two companions have walked far enough. They sit together upon a warm dune, watching the last bit of light fade from the horizon. Feeling rests her head on Thought's shoulder. Thought wraps his arm gently around her. The sea hushes, the sky deepens, and the two of them, who sometimes argue and sometimes dance, sit in perfect sleepy peace, breathing in time with the tide, until they themselves seem to dissolve into the soft grey light, becoming part of the long, slow lullaby of the shore. Within the limbic system, scientists have found a small region called the nucleus accumbens, which is sometimes called the chamber of small delights. Picture a tiny tea room lit by paper lanterns, where every cup holds a small, sweet pleasure, a sip of warm milk, a bite of buttered bread, a few notes of a beloved song. Tonight, the tea room is empty of guests. The lanterns hang quietly. The cups are washed and stacked upon their wooden shelves. The chamber of small delights is at rest, its tea kettle cool, its windows softly fogged. There will be many more delights tomorrow. The first sip of morning coffee, the first warm beam of sunlight. But for now, the room sleeps, its paper lanterns rocking ever so faintly in a breeze you cannot feel, like little moons swaying above a dreaming sea. The hippocampus is shaped like a seahorse, but it is also said to dance like one, slow, swaying, gently looping through the warm waters of memory. Imagine a small seahorse drifting past forests of pale coral, past gardens of glowing kelp, gathering bits of memory like soft sand to carry home. Tonight, the seahorse drifts in slow, lazy spirals, its little fins barely fluttering. The coral glows faintly. The kelp sways, and every memory of your day, the small ones, the warm ones, the half-noticed ones, settles softly into the seahorse's keeping, like grains of sand falling through clear water. By morning, these grains will become quiet pearls tucked into the velvet drawers of your mind. But for tonight, the seahorse sleeps, curled into a slow, dreaming spiral upon a bed of soft sea moss. The hypothalamus, that tiny pearl-sized gardener, watches over the body's deepest rhythms, the rise and fall of warmth, the quiet hum of hunger, the long tide of sleep. Picture it walking through its little greenhouse at night, dimming each lantern, watering each plant, humming a soft, wordless song. Tonight the gardener has come to the very last lantern. He stands before it, smiles gently, and lowers the wick to its faintest glow. The greenhouse is now bathed in a kind, dim amber. The leaves shine faintly, the petals nod with sleep. And the gardener, his work complete, walks slowly along a small mossy path to a wooden bench, where he settles down with his hands in his lap. The greenhouse breathes. The night listens, and every small rhythm of your body settles into the same slow, dreaming pulse. Empathy, scientists say, lives in the soft folds of the limbic system, like warm water held in cupped hands. When we sense the feeling of another, certain quiet pathways glow inside us, mirroring their joy or sorrow with great tenderness. Imagine your inner self holding a small glowing bowl of water and seeing in its surface the faint reflection of every face you have ever loved. Tonight, the bowl is calm. The water is still. The reflections shimmer softly. A parent's smile, a friend's laugh, a child's wide eyes. They are not gone, only resting just as you rest. The bowl glows faintly in your cupped hands. The water hums with quiet recognition, and the soft, patient gift of empathy curls up beside you like a sleeping cat, breathing slowly, dreaming of all the gentle hearts it has ever known. The limbic system is sometimes described as the heart of the brain. Imagine a small, glowing chamber at the very center of a great cathedral, where a single warm flame burns upon a stone altar. The cathedral is vast, full of arches and stained glass and long, echoing halls, but it all curls inward toward this small, kind flame. Tonight, the cathedral within you is dim and hushed. The pews are empty. The candles in the side chapels burn low. Only that central flame of feeling glows steadily, softly, the color of honey held to a window. It does not flicker. It does not waver. It simply burns, as it has always burned, the warm, small heart of you, faithful through every season of your life. And tonight, it tends itself, asking nothing, giving everything, glowing on into the long, sweet hush. Scientists have learned that the limbic system rests deeply during the slow waves of dreamless sleep. Imagine the inner kingdom dimmed to its softest, the lanterns barely amber, the rivers slowed to glass, the gardens folded into dew. Even the busiest little lantern keepers, the amygdala, the hippocampus, have laid down their tools and curled into small velvet beds. Tonight, this deep, dreamless quiet draws near. You can feel it on the edge of your awareness, like the soft fall of curtains in a vast, pale theater. The chambers of feeling are still. The pathways of thought are still. The whole inner country sleeps and breathes and waits, patient as the moon waiting for dawn. There is nothing more peaceful in all of human experience, and it is reaching for you now, slowly, slowly, with both kind, dark hands. The amygdala, though small, has been called the soft sentinel of the heart. Picture a gentle figure in a long grey cloak, walking the high stone walls of an old castle, watching over the sleeping town below. The torches burn low. The streets are empty. The town breathes quietly in its beds. Tonight, the sentinel has nothing to guard against. The night is wide and kind. The wind is mild. The stars are scattered like silver crumbs across an old velvet cloth. The sentinel sets down his lantern, leans against the cool stone wall, and closes his eyes. Even the watcher must rest. Even the protector must dream. And the castle, with all its towers and quiet courtyards, sinks into the long, deep blue of midnight, while the sentinel folds his cloak around him and slips into a soft, well-earned sleep. Within the limbic system, quiet streams of dopamine carry the small, sweet weight of anticipation, the feeling of looking forward to something kind. Picture a slow, golden river that winds through a green valley, carrying tiny lanterns of hope upon its surface. The lanterns drift gently, each one a small wish, each one a quiet expectation of something good. Tonight, the river of anticipation flows softly, its lanterns dim and content. There is no rush, no urgency. The wishes are not impatient, they simply drift, knowing that whatever is coming will come in its own gentle time. The valley grows hushed, the lanterns dim, and the river, with all its small floating hopes, slows to a near still, glowing faintly under the soft sky, like a long, patient promise that tomorrow, in its own slow way, will be kind to you. Long before language was born, scientists believe, our ancestors felt feelings just as we do, in the same warm chambers, the same quiet rivers, the same soft gardens. Imagine a small fire on a hillside long, long ago, where a gentle figure sits beneath a sky thick with stars, feeling the same wonder you have felt, the same tenderness, the same quiet ache of beauty. The fire crackles, the stars shimmer, the figure breathes slowly, as you breathe slowly now. Tonight you are connected by a long golden thread of feeling to every dreaming heart that has ever sat beside such a fire. The thread hums softly, it crosses thousands of years, it crosses thousands of lives, and it ties you, gently, kindly, to the slow heartbeat of all humankind, who have all in their own quiet ways longed for sleep just like this. The orbitofrontal cortex, soft and tucked behind the brow, helps the limbic system know what is sweet and what is sour, what is kind and what is rough. Imagine it as a quiet steward in a great hall, tasting each small offering of life with gentle attention. Tonight, the steward has tasted the day's tea, every small moment of warmth, every small flicker of beauty, and has set down his porcelain cup with a soft sigh. The cup is empty now. The hall is dim. The fire is low. He folds a linen cloth carefully and lays it beside the cup, then walks softly to a velvet chair near the hearth, where he sits, closes his eyes, and breathes in the faint scent of all the gentle tastes he has known. The hall hushes. The hearth glows faintly. The steward sleeps. Scientists tell us that the limbic system holds the soft memory of every familiar smell, the sweet, particular scents that carry us instantly back to other days. Picture a quiet hallway lined with small glass bottles, each one holding the perfume of a moment. Pine sap from a forest walk, bread from a childhood kitchen, rain on summer pavement. Tonight the hallway is dim, lit by a single brass sconce. The bottles glow faintly. They are sealed gently, their corks soft as moss. You do not need to open one. The hallway itself is enough. It knows you, it remembers you, it holds you tenderly. The bottles rest, the brass sconce dims. and the long, fragrant corridor of your scented memories settles into a quiet that is older than language, sweeter than song, softer than any blanket you have ever drawn around your shoulders. The brain, as it sinks towards sleep, releases gentle waves of melatonin, small messengers that whisper to the limbic system, "It is time. It is time." Imagine a soft tide of pale blue light washing through the inner kingdom, quieting each chamber, dimming each lantern, hushing each path. The tide does not push. It does not insist. It simply rises, slow and patient, lifting the kingdom into a deeper rest. Tonight, the blue tide is rising within you. You can feel it in the warmth of your eyelids, in the heaviness of your hands, in the slow ease of your breath. The little keepers and gardeners of feeling close their books and lie down beside the rising water. The kingdom floats. The water glows, and every chamber of feeling, at last, surrenders gently to the long, kind hush. Scientists have found that the limbic system glows softly when we look upon a beloved face. Imagine that within you there is a small portrait gallery, lit by warm amber lamps, where every cherished face hangs in a quiet wooden frame. Family, friends, companions of all kinds. Tonight the gallery is hushed, the lamps burn low, the portraits glow softly, each face wearing its kindest expression. You walk slowly down the gallery in the quietest part of yourself, nodding gently to each one. You do not need to speak, you do not need to remember. The faces simply look back at you with patient, loving eyes. The hall grows dim, the portraits soften, and the long, sweet weight of being loved by so many, in so many quiet ways, settles upon you like a thick, warm cloak gathered close at the throat. Within the limbic system, the body's small alarm is gentle now, sleeping at last. Picture a tiny silver bell hanging in a velvet case, no longer ringing, no longer needing to. The hand that once tapped it has set it down. The case has closed. The night has agreed that nothing more needs guarding. Tonight, your inner alarm is utterly quiet. The bell sleeps. The hand rests. The velvet case glows faintly in the low light, untouched, untroubled. The whole inner watch house hums with peace. The windows are dim. The doors are loosely closed. And the kind keeper of the bell sits in a wooden chair, with his hands folded in his lap, dozing softly to the sound of nothing at all, the most wonderful sound in the world, the sound of a body that knows, deep down, it is safe. The limbic system, scientists say, is shaped a little like a wreath of soft branches, woven gently around the deeper rooms of the brain. Imagine that within you grows a wreath of pale green leaves, dotted with tiny white blossoms, hung quietly upon the inner door of your mind. The wreath is soft to the touch. The leaves smell faintly of rosemary and lavender. Tonight, the wreath is at rest, its blossoms folded shut, its leaves dim in the low light. It hums softly with the slow scent of its herbs. The door it hangs upon is the door of dreaming. And as the night deepens, the wreath sways ever so gently, just a breath of motion, as though something beyond the door is breathing softly, waiting for you, holding the door open for the long, sweet visit you're about to begin. Gentle music, scientists tell us, lowers the body's inner pulse and softens the limbic system within minutes. Picture a quiet harp being played in the corner of a great velvet-curtained room. Each note falls like a single drop of warm rain into a copper basin. Plink, plink, plink. Tonight, somewhere within you, that quiet harp is playing on. The notes are slow. The basin glows. The room dims with each chord. The little keepers of feeling close their eyes and sway gently to the soft music. The lanterns dim. The curtains breathe. And every nerve in the body, like a fine string, untunes itself a little, until even the deepest tension softens into the same warm, copper-colored hush. The harp plays on, slower still, until even it seems to fall asleep upon the soft velvet floor. The brain weighs only about 3 pounds, yet it holds within it the entire warm world of feeling. Picture this, a small, soft globe held in cupped hands, glowing gently from within, containing every sunrise, every laugh, every quiet love you have ever known. Tonight, that soft globe rests upon a velvet cushion, glowing faintly in the dim. It does not need to do anything now. It does not need to think, or hold, or carry. It simply glows, contented, loved, kept safe in the warm cradle of sleep. The cushion breathes, the globe glows, and inside it, every shining feeling settles gently into stillness. The way snowflakes settle on a windless field, layer upon layer, soft upon soft, until the whole world inside you is white and warm and infinitely quiet. Segment 50. Halfway through our slow journey, the inner kingdom is dim and softly glowing, and you are dimming with it. Picture an old bedroom with a single candle on a wooden nightstand, the flame burning low, the wax thick and slow upon its plate. Outside the window, the night is wide. Inside the room, the air is warm. Tonight, you are that candle, burning gently, asking nothing more of yourself, simply giving the soft, low light of being alive. The wax is heavy, the flame is sleepy. The wick has become small and content, and as the candle dims, the room dims, and the night beyond the window deepens into a velvet that is darker and kinder than any darkness you have ever known. Half the journey is done. The other half waits, patient as a breath, soft as the falling of a single feather. Within the limbic system, scientists tell us, the gentle hormone oxytocin moves like warm honey through the chambers of trust. Imagine a small ceramic jar, glazed in soft cream, sitting upon a wooden shelf in the inner kitchen of feeling. From it, the body draws slow, golden spoonfuls, every moment of safety, every small embrace, every hand that has ever rested kindly upon yours. Tonight, the jar is full. The honey within glows like late afternoon light. The wooden spoon rests gently across the rim, untouched, unhurried. The kitchen is dim. The shelves are quiet, and the slow, sweet weight of every trust you have ever known settles upon you like a thick wool blanket folded over your shoulders by an old, beloved hand. The jar shines faintly in the low light, patient as a star, sweet as a memory, infinitely kind. The limbic system, scientists say, helps stitch our days into the long, soft tapestry of who we are. Picture a quiet weaver in a warm cottage, working at a wooden loom by candlelight. Each thread is a moment, a kind word, a small wonder, a quiet ache, a sleepy yawn. Each color is a feeling, pale gold, deep rose, soft indigo, gentle gray. Tonight, the weaver has finished today's row. The shuttle rests upon the loom. The candle burns low. He runs his hand softly across the new threads, smiling at how naturally they fit beside the rows that came before. The tapestry stretches behind him, longer than he can see, glowing with all the gentle colors of your life. He sets down his tools. He pulls a soft shawl across his shoulders, and the cottage settles into a deep, contented hush. Tears, scientists have found, often arrive when the limbic system overflows with feeling. Too much beauty, too much tenderness, too much love. Picture a small fountain in a quiet courtyard, where the water has risen to the very edge of its stone bowl and spills gently down its sides in slow, glittering drops. Tonight, the fountain within you is calm. The water is still. Whatever feelings rose today have already softly overflowed and run down into the warm earth below, where they nourish the small flowers of your inner garden. The fountain hums quietly. The drops have stopped. The courtyard is bathed in pale moonlight, and the soft, beautiful proof of having felt deeply, of having loved, ached, laughed, and wondered, rests upon the mossy stones around the fountain like dew, glowing faintly, witnessing nothing but the long, sweet quiet of night. The cingulate cortex helps the brain notice when something feels meaningful. Imagine a small lighthouse keeper inside the mind, who turns his lamp ever so gently when something matters. A kind word, a familiar face, a sudden memory of childhood. The beam is soft. The beam is patient. It does not blind. It only illuminates. Tonight, the keeper has turned his lamp inward, away from the wide outer sea, toward the small harbor of your own heart. He shines his soft light upon every meaningful moment of today, and one by one, they glow gently and then dim, like ships safely returned to port. The harbor hushes. The lamp dims. The keeper sets down his small brass key, climbs into a narrow bed at the top of the lighthouse, and falls asleep, listening to the slow lapping of the inner tide. Scientists have observed that the limbic system glows softly during gentle daydreams. Imagine a long, lazy afternoon in late summer, where soft yellow light slants through the leaves of an old oak tree, and you lie in the grass watching small clouds drift across a wide blue sky. Each cloud is a daydream. Each daydream is a quiet wandering of the heart. Tonight, the afternoon within you has dimmed to dusk. The oak tree has folded its leaves into shadow. The clouds have all drifted off the edge of the sky. The grass is cool. The light is amber. And the soft, slow ease of having let your mind wander gently today rests upon you like the warm weight of a cat curled across your chest, breathing slowly, dreaming softly, asking nothing of you but to share its long, peaceful sleep. The amygdala, that small, almond-shaped lantern keeper, also has a gentler twin, for there are two amygdalae, one tucked into each side of the brain. Imagine two small lantern keepers, brother and sister, walking together along the warm corridors of the inner kingdom. They speak softly. They nod kindly. Tonight, they have finished their slow rounds. They sit together upon a velvet bench in a quiet chapel, their lanterns hanging low between them. The chapel is dim and warm. The candles burn slow. The brother yawns. The sister leans her head gently against his shoulder. And the two of them, who have watched over you for all of your life, slip into a soft, peaceful sleep, side by side, like two small statues in the moonlight, glowing faintly, dreaming the same kind dream. Scientists tell us that the limbic system is always listening to the body, to the slow rhythms of breath, of heartbeat, of warmth, of weight. Picture a small parlor at night where a soft conversation drifts back and forth between two old companions named Body and Mind. Body tells Mind that the bed is soft. Mind tells Body that there is nothing more to do. Body tells Mind the room is warm. Mind tells Body that all is well. Tonight, the conversation has slowed to a near whisper. The two companions sit together by a low fire, wrapped in shared blankets, sipping cooling tea. The fire crackles softly, the mantelpiece glows faintly with old photographs, and as the parlor dims into a deeper hush, both Body and Mind close their eyes, mid-sentence, and drift quietly into the long, kind silence of sleep. The hippocampus, that small seahorse, also helps the brain hold the soft sense of place, the memory of where things are, where things have been. Imagine a small lantern shining over a familiar map, its golden light tracing the streets of every place you have ever called home, the corner of a childhood block, the path through a remembered park, the way the kitchen looked from the doorway. Tonight, the lantern dims. The map folds gently along its old creases. The seahorse drifts slowly past, content that every place is where it should be, every memory in its proper drawer. The map rests in its wooden case. The lantern softens to a quiet ember, and the long, tender geography of your life settles into a peaceful stillness, like a great atlas closed gently upon a velvet table at the end of a long, kind day. Within the brain, scientists have found small chemicals called endorphins, which the limbic system pours softly into the body during moments of warmth and ease. Imagine a slow stream of pale gold syrup pouring over the inner garden, sweetening every petal, softening every leaf. Tonight, the body is gathering up these last quiet pourings of the day, mixing them gently into the long, warm bath of sleep. The garden glows faintly. The petals shine. The leaves curl tenderly, and every cell of you, soft and small and tired, sinks a little deeper into the sweet, thick honey of rest. The stream slows. The syrup pools in soft golden mirrors at the base of every flower, and the inner garden, now coated in shimmering ease, sleeps without a single weight upon it, deep, deep down into the velvet of night. Scientists believe that gentle laughter, even imagined, releases the body's tension through the limbic pathways. Picture a small marketplace inside your mind where merchants of feeling have laid down their goods for the night. The lanterns are dim, the stalls are quiet, the cobblestones gleam faintly with the memory of the day. Tonight, somewhere in this dreaming marketplace, a soft, distant chuckle drifts on the air, a small, remembered laugh from someone you love. The merchants smile in their sleep. The lanterns glow a little brighter for a moment and then dim again. The marketplace settles, and the warm, mild echo of laughter weaves itself into the night air like a thread of golden silk, looping through every quiet stall, blessing the long, peaceful night with its faint, sweet music, its soft and timeless gift of human joy. The limbic system, scientists say, has its own quiet sense of beauty. Picture a small inner gallery where the walls are hung with the most beloved sights of your life, the bend of a familiar river, the warm color of evening light upon a wall, the way snow looked on the morning of a happy memory. Tonight, the gallery is dim. The brass picture lights are turned low. The paintings glow faintly with the memory of beauty. You walk slowly through the gallery, in the quietest part of yourself, pausing before each painting with a gentle nod. You do not need to look long. You do not need to remember names. The beauty is enough. It has always been enough. The gallery hums softly. The lights dim further, and the long, soft inheritance of beauty itself folds you gently in its arms and walks you towards sleep. Within the brain, the limbic system softly communicates with the prefrontal cortex, that wise old companion who lives just behind the brow. Imagine the two as old neighbors in a quiet village, often passing kind notes between their windows. Tonight, the village is dim. The lanterns hang low. The notes have all been delivered. There is nothing more to write. Both neighbors sit at their small kitchen tables, sipping cooling tea, watching the moon rise gently over the chimney pots. The village hushes, the teacups cool, and the long, faithful friendship between feeling and reason, the soft inner partnership that has carried you through every season of your life, settles into a quiet, sleepy kind of love, like two old hands resting gently together upon a worn wooden tabletop in the warm, patient dark. Scientists have shown that quiet companionship, the simple presence of another being, soothes the limbic system more than almost anything else. Picture a small, dim parlor where you sit beside someone you love. No words are exchanged, no music is played. There is only the soft sound of two breaths in the same room, the warm weight of another presence nearby. Tonight, the inner parlor of your mind is full of all the warm presences you have ever known, a parent, a friend, a beloved animal, a kind stranger. They all sit quietly with you in the dim, sharing nothing but breath. The parlor is hushed. The lanterns are low. The silence between you is the warmest silence in the world. And the long, slow comfort of being not quite alone curls around your shoulders like a kind shawl in the deep blue evening. The thalamus, that great pearl at the center of the brain, also dims gently as sleep approaches. Imagine the moon slowly waning above the inner kingdom, growing softer, paler, dimmer with each passing breath. The pearl glows quietly. The kingdom hushes beneath it. The little gardens, the little chambers, the little rivers all settle into the soft pearly light. Tonight, the pearl is the color of cooled candle wax, soft and creamy. It hums gently with the slow song of sleep. The whole inner kingdom dreams beneath it, lit by its kind, quiet glow. And as the night deepens, the pearl dims further still, growing as soft as a faint memory, as gentle as a wisp of breath upon a window pane. The kingdom sleeps, the pearl sleeps, and you, beneath them all, sleep too, deeper than the deepest velvet sky. The limbic system holds within it the soft instinct to seek warmth, to draw close to fires, to wrap in blankets, to nestle into beds. Imagine a small inner creature, soft-furred and sleepy, that has been with you since the very first night of your life. It curls up where the body is warm. It stretches where the air is mild. It hums quietly when the blankets are drawn close. Tonight, the little creature is curled tightly against the warm part of your chest, its small breath rising and falling in time with yours. It is happy. It is held. It is exactly where it has always wished to be. The blankets settle around it. The pillow shapes itself softly, and the small inner creature of warmth-seeking purrs a faint, contented purr, falling deeper and deeper into the long, sweet hush of sleep. Scientists have discovered that the limbic system has a particular fondness for the slow rhythms of nature, the sound of waves, of rain, of wind through tall trees. Picture a small inner cottage by the sea, where the windows are open just slightly and the long, slow whisper of the ocean drifts inside, weaving through the quiet rooms. Tonight, the cottage is dim and warm, the fire is low, the lamp on the small wooden table glows faintly amber, and the sea, that ancient and patient teacher of rhythm, breathes softly through the windows, in and out, like a great kind grandmother humming an old wordless lullaby. The curtains sway, the cottage breathes, and every cell of your tired body learns again, gently, the oldest lesson the sea has ever taught, the soft, slow art of letting go. Within the limbic system, gentle awe is said to slow the heartbeat and widen the inner sky. Imagine a small inner mountaintop at dusk, where, sitting upon a smooth grey stone, you watch the great violet darkness rise slowly across the world. The valleys below dim into purple shadow. The first stars open their kind eyes. The wind is mild, the earth is quiet. Tonight, the inner mountaintop is utterly still. Your breath grows long, your heart grows soft, and the small, ancient feeling of being a tiny creature beneath an immense sky settles upon you, not as smallness, but as belonging. For you are made of the same soft stardust as the mountain, the same patient earth, the same quiet evening. The stars hum gently, the wind sighs, and the inner mountaintop dreams with you, the slow, glowing dream of being part of everything. The brain, even at rest, holds within it the soft afterglow of every kindness ever given to you. Imagine a small inner field of fireflies, where each gentle light is a kindness once received, a smile in a hard moment, a hand offered when you stumbled, a quiet word of encouragement on a tired day. Tonight, the field is full. The fireflies drift slowly through the warm dark, each one glowing faintly amber. They have always been with you, they will always be with you. The field hums quietly, the grass is soft, and the long, patient luminescence of every kindness you have ever known gathers around you in the dreaming dark, lighting your inner world with such tenderness that even the night itself seems to pause, breathless with gratitude, before lowering its great kind hand to dim the fireflies one by one into sleep. Scientists tell us that the limbic system has a soft preference for familiar places. Old beds, old chairs, old corners of beloved rooms. Imagine an inner attic where every familiar place of your life is folded carefully into a wooden trunk and lined with soft tissue paper. The corner of a childhood library, the view from a remembered window, the small kitchen where you once felt utterly safe. Tonight the trunk is closed gently, its brass clasps softly latched. The attic is dim, a single candle burns upon a small round table. The trunk glows faintly with the warmth of all its familiar places, and the deep, kind comfort of belonging to the rooms that have known you settles upon you like an old quilt. Hand-stitched by patient hands, each square a different place where you have been loved and known and held. The limbic system, scientists say, is always quietly translating the world into feeling. Imagine a soft, candlelit translator's desk inside your mind, where a kind, half-spectacled scribe sits transcribing the day's events into the gentle language of the heart. A passing kindness becomes a small, warm verse. A moment of beauty becomes a soft poem. A quiet joke becomes a single line of laughter, written in pale gold ink. Tonight, the translator has finished his work. The pages are stacked neatly. The ink is drying. The candle burns low. He sets down his quill, leans back in his wooden chair, and gazes at the soft glow of his lamp. The day has been translated, the day has been received. And the kind translator, his glasses sliding gently down his nose, falls into a quiet, well-earned dream upon his small wooden desk. Within the limbic system, there are pathways that grow stronger with gentle use, pathways of comfort, of trust, of soft belonging. Imagine a quiet forest where, over many years, the deer have walked the same kind paths until the moss grew lush and the trail grew clear. Each path is a feeling that has been gently practiced: kindness, patience, gratitude, calm. Tonight, these inner paths are bathed in the soft silver of moonlight. The moss glows faintly, the trees lean inward, sheltering the trails, and every gentle path you have walked within yourself over all the seasons of your life hums quietly with welcome, ready for tomorrow's slow, kind footsteps. But for now, the forest sleeps. The paths sleep, and the deer themselves curl into their small, mossy beds, dreaming softly of the gentle ways they have always known. The brain, as it slips deeper into sleep, releases small chemicals that quiet the limbic system, like dim lamps being turned down throughout a vast, beloved house. Picture an old mansion at midnight, where a kind housekeeper walks slowly from room to room, lowering each lamp with a gentle hand. Click. The library dims. Click. The parlor dims. Click. The grand hall dims. Tonight, the housekeeper has reached the very last lamp in a small bedroom at the top of the stairs. She lowers it tenderly, smiles into the dark, and closes the door behind her with a soft, soft click. The mansion sighs into its long, faithful sleep. The hallways breathe, the floors settle, and every chamber of your inner home, dim and warm, dreams beside you, listening to the slow lullaby of a house that knows it is loved. Scientists have learned that even our smallest sensations, the warmth of cloth, the cool of glass, the soft weight of breath, are noticed by the limbic system and folded into the long song of feeling. Imagine a small inner choir, where every sensation of the body is a single, gentle voice singing into the great hall of awareness. Tonight, the choir is humming a slow, wordless lullaby. The soprano is the warmth of your blanket. The alto is the soft weight of your hand. The tenor is the slow rise of your breath. The bass is the quiet hum of your heart. Together, they sing one long, peaceful tone, the tone of a body resting deeply. The hall fills with their soft music. The lanterns dim. And the choir, mid-note, drifts gently into a hush so warm it feels like sleep itself. The amygdala, scientists say, also holds the soft mark of every feeling friend you have ever known, the people who have made you feel safe simply by being near. Picture a small inner garden, where each of these dear ones is represented by a soft, glowing lantern hanging from a low branch. Tonight, the garden is full of these lanterns, dim and warm. They sway gently in a wind you cannot feel. The garden is hushed. The grass beneath the lanterns is cool, and every kind presence that has ever softened your fears, even the ones long since gone, glows faithfully on, lighting the inner pathways of your heart with their quiet, abiding love. The lanterns dim, the garden sleeps, and you, surrounded by their patient glow, drift into the most protected sleep there is, the sleep of being deeply, quietly loved. 3/4 of our slow journey have now passed, and the inner kingdom is dim and tender as the deepest part of evening. Picture a great old library, lit by a single low fire and a few amber lamps, where every book of feeling has been gently shelved, every scroll of memory carefully rolled. Tonight, the library is hushed. The librarian has gone to sleep at her wooden desk, her small brass spectacles resting upon a pile of softly glowing pages. The books breathe quietly on their shelves, the lamps dim one by one, and the long, kind keeping place of all your inner life settles into the most peaceful silence the library has ever known. There is no rush, there is no work, only the slow, beloved hush of a place that holds you, has always held you, and will keep on holding you through the deep velvet of sleep. Within the limbic system, scientists tell us, even gentle gratitude leaves a soft, lasting glow. Imagine a small inner pond, lit by drifting paper lanterns released by hand long ago, each one a thank you offered, each one a small bow of the heart. Tonight, the pond holds many such lanterns, floating slowly in the warm dark, glowing with the soft amber of a remembered grace. They drift in slow circles, their reflections doubled in the still water. The pond hums quietly. The lanterns sway, and every soft gratitude you have ever felt, for a meal, for a friend, for a kind morning, drifts patiently upon the pond like a gathering of small devoted moons. The water glows, the lanterns dim, and the inner pond settles into a deep, dreaming quiet, holding all your thank yous safely upon its surface, where they shine on, faithful as starlight. The hippocampus, that small seahorse, also helps the brain build the soft sense of time, the gentle layering of yesterday, today, tomorrow. Imagine a quiet inner river where each day floats by like a small wooden boat with a single lantern at its prow. Some boats carry kindness, some carry rest, some carry quiet moments of thought. Tonight the boats drift slowly, their lanterns dim, their sails loose. The seahorse swims gently among them, its small fins barely moving. The river glows faintly with the soft light of all your days. The boats hum, the seahorse sleeps upon a bed of moss, and the long, patient passage of time settles around you like a slow, warm current, carrying you tenderly through the night, never rushing, never insisting, simply moving the way a great kind river has always moved through the heart of a peaceful land. Scientists tell us that the limbic system grows quieter with every long, slow breath. Imagine a small inner sea, where each breath is a slow, low wave washing softly upon a moonlit shore. In, the wave rises. Out, the wave falls. In, the inner kingdom dims. Out, the inner kingdom dreams. Tonight, the sea is the calmest sea in the world. Its waves are smaller than whispers. Its sand is white and cool. The horizon glows faintly silver, and the slow tide of your breathing washes the kingdom of feeling into the softest hush, smoothing every footprint, soothing every shore. The sea hums, the shore glows, and every breath you take, slow and easy, tells the inner kingdom the same kind sentence, that the world is well, that the body is safe, that the long, sweet sleep has come. Within the limbic system, scientists have found that the simple act of resting upon something soft, a pillow, a cushion, a kind shoulder, quiets the heart within seconds. Imagine a small inner room where every soft thing you have ever leaned upon glows faintly amber. The pillow of childhood, the shoulder of a beloved friend, the grass of a remembered summer. Tonight you lean into all of them at once in the deepest part of yourself, and the room hushes with the warmth of so many gentle places. The amber glow deepens, the room grows still, and the long, tender history of having something kind to rest upon settles around you like a great velvet quilt. The pillow knows you, the shoulder knows you, the summer grass remembers your weight, and the inner room dims into the most tender, supported sleep there is. The brain holds within it the soft music of every voice you have ever loved, the small private music that the limbic system gathers slowly across a lifetime. Imagine a quiet inner concert hall where the seats are empty but the air still hums with the loved voices of your years. A parent calling you home for supper, a friend laughing across a kitchen table, a child whispering a small, important secret. Tonight the hall is dim. The chandeliers glow faintly. The voices have softened to a near-silent hum, like the memory of a song just after it has ended. The hall hushes, the seats settle, and the warm, faint music of every loved voice that has ever spoken. Your name folds itself gently around you, like a long velvet ribbon tied softly at the throat, holding you upright in the soft, deep dark. Scientists have shown that the limbic system grows softer in the presence of slow, repeated kindness, the small daily acts that say again and again that we are loved. Imagine a quiet inner orchard where every gentle act of kindness, given or received, becomes a small ripe fruit upon a low branch. There is the fruit of a morning greeting, the fruit of a quiet hand on the back, the fruit of a soft good night. Tonight the orchard is heavy with such fruit. The branches lean low and gentle, the leaves rustle faintly in a wind you cannot feel. The grass below is soft with fallen fragrant pieces, and the long, patient sweetness of having been loved in small, daily ways settles upon you like the warm air of an old summer evening, full of the scent of ripening things, full of contentment, full of rest. The cingulate cortex helps the brain hold gentle attention, the soft choosing of what to notice. Imagine a kind inner librarian who, throughout the day, has lifted certain books from the shelves and set them upon your reading table. The moments worth keeping, the moments worth feeling. Tonight, the librarian has finished her work. The books are gently restacked. The reading lamp is dim, the library hushes. She walks slowly along the rows, running her hands softly across the spines, smiling at each title. The day has been read, the day has been kept. She blows out the small green-shaded lamp, climbs into a soft chair near a curtained window, and falls asleep with a book in her lap, her glasses sliding gently down her nose. The library breathes, and every gentle thing you noticed today rests safely upon its shelf. Scientists tell us that even the slow drifting of a single thought, soft and aimless, can quiet the limbic system into rest. Imagine a small white feather, drifting gently through still air, turning lazily as it falls. The feather has no destination. It is in no hurry. It simply turns and drifts and turns again, golden in the low, kind light. Tonight, your thoughts are like such feathers. One drifts up, one drifts down. None demand anything of you. None hurry to be caught. The inner air is warm and patient. The feathers turn, the light dims, and the long, soft procession of unhurried thoughts becomes a kind of quiet snowfall within you, layering the inner kingdom in white. Untroubled stillness, the way a winter field becomes infinitely peaceful beneath the slow falling of snow. The limbic system holds within it the soft inheritance of every lullaby ever sung to you. Imagine a small inner cradle where, even now, the faint echo of those old, gentle songs hums quietly above your head. Some are songs you can remember, some are songs you cannot. All of them rocked you, once, into the long peace of sleep. Tonight, the cradle of your own grown self rocks gently with that ancient, kind music. The lullabies hum, the cradle sways, the blankets within it glow faintly amber, and the long line of voices that ever sang you to sleep, known and unknown, near and far gathers softly around your inner cradle, watching you with patient love, humming together in the same wordless tune, lowering you, slowly, slowly, into a sleep older and warmer than any you have ever known. Scientists have found that the limbic system grows particularly soft in the presence of warm, gentle eyes. Picture a small inner gathering of all the kind eyes that have ever looked upon you. A parent's eyes, a friend's, a stranger's brief and gentle glance. Each pair glows faintly in the dark, like soft stars hung in a low sky. Tonight, The inner sky is full of these warm, watching eyes. They do not stare. They do not wait. They simply rest upon you with the slow, faithful kindness of beings who have wished you well. The sky hushes, the eyes glow, and the long, patient witness of every kind look you have ever received settles upon you like a soft, dreaming shawl, hand-knit from love itself, draped tenderly across your inner shoulders by hands you cannot see but have always trusted. Within the brain, scientists have found that the limbic system glows gently when we recall a quiet day spent doing something slow. Imagine a soft inner afternoon, the sound of a kettle, the smell of bread, the warm yellow light through a sheer curtain. Tonight, the inner afternoon settles around you, slow as honey from a wooden spoon. The kettle hums faintly. The bread cools upon a wooden board. The curtain breathes in a wind you cannot feel. There is nothing to hurry. There is nothing to do. The afternoon simply is, the way old afternoons used to be, the way they will always be inside you. And the long, kind quiet of unhurried hours settles upon you like a warm shawl that smells faintly of bread and tea, holding you, keeping you, letting you slip slowly into the long, sweet sleep of evening. The brain, as it falls deeper into sleep, gathers all its small inner figures, the lantern keeper, the seahorse, the gardener, the map maker, the librarian, and folds them gently into the same long quiet. Imagine them all walking slowly toward a shared inner chamber, where soft beds have been laid out, each one made with soft white linen and a folded woolen blanket. Tonight, they all reach the chamber together. They smile faintly at one another. They climb into their small beds one by one, their lanterns dimmed, their tools set aside. The chamber hushes, the blankets settle, and every quiet caretaker of your inner life sleeps in the same warm room, breathing in time with you, dreaming the same kind dream, the long, soft dream of a life that has been gently tended, faithfully kept, and is now allowed fully to rest. Scientists tell us that the limbic system holds the gentle memory of every safe place we have ever known. Imagine a small inner village where each kind home you have ever entered is a softly lit cottage along a quiet lane. Some are homes you visited often. Some you visited only once. Each one glows faintly amber in the long blue evening. Tonight, the village hushes. The lanes grow still. The chimneys breathe slow ribbons of pale smoke into a sky full of stars. The cottage windows glow with the warmth of 1,000 kind moments. And the long, patient inheritance of every safe place that ever sheltered you settles around you like a great, soft quilt of small lights, comforting your inner self with the deep knowledge that there have been, and always will be, places in this world made gentle for your weary heart. The amygdala, that little lantern keeper, also holds the soft memory of being soothed. Imagine a small inner record of every moment another's hand has gently calmed yours. A parent's slow stroke upon your hair, a friend's quiet pat upon your back, a beloved animal pressed warmly against your side. Tonight, the lantern keeper opens this small record by candlelight, turning the pages slowly, smiling softly. Each entry glows faintly upon the parchment. Each one is a moment when, in a small way, the world said, there, all is well." The candle burns low. The keeper closes the record gently, and the long, patient knowledge of having been soothed many times before, and being soothed again, even now, by the soft kindness of your own slow breath, folds itself around you like a familiar cloak in the cold, dim hush. Scientists have shown that the limbic system glows warmly when we remember being part of something larger than ourselves. Imagine a soft inner gathering, a quiet circle of figures around a small fire, all listening to the same gentle story. Some are family, some are friends, some are people you have not yet met, but who in some unseen way walk with you still. Tonight, the circle is hushed, the fire is low, the faces glow faintly amber. The story has ended, but no one wishes to leave. They simply sit together in the warm dark, breathing the same slow breath. And the long, kind feeling of belonging, of being one small, kind heart among countless kind hearts, settles upon you like a great wool blanket gathered around the entire circle, holding you, holding all of you, in the same vast, patient love. The limbic system, scientists say, knows the slow sweetness of contentment more deeply than the sharp brightness of excitement. Imagine a small inner table where instead of fireworks there are simply 2 warm cups, 2 slices of soft bread, and a single low candle. Tonight the table glows quietly. The cups are full of gentle steam, the bread is fragrant, the candle burns slowly. There is no need for more. There has never been a need for more. And the long, patient art of being content with small, warm things, the candle, the cup, the slice of bread, settles upon you like the deepest secret of joy, the kind that has been quietly known by every wise, sleepy heart that ever lived. The candle dims, the cups cool, and the inner table, complete in its smallness, sleeps deeply, content as the moon. Within the brain, the limbic system also holds the soft glow of forgiveness, both given and received. Imagine a small inner courtyard, where in the moonlight, 2 soft hands have just unclasped themselves from a long, kind embrace. Tonight, the courtyard is hushed. The stones glow faintly silver. The flowers in their old clay pots sway gently, and the long, slow gift of every forgiveness you have ever offered or received, every quiet "it's all right," every gentle letting go drifts around the courtyard like soft mist, blessing every stone, every petal, every breath of the night air. The courtyard breathes, the mist glows, and the deep, kind weightlessness that follows forgiveness wraps itself around your shoulders like a cool linen shawl in a warm, quiet evening, easing you, freeing you, lowering you toward the long velvet of sleep. Scientists have found that the limbic system softens deeply when we recall the slow, simple beauty of nature. Imagine a soft inner meadow at dawn, where dew clings to every blade of grass and the air smells faintly of wildflowers and earth. Tonight, the meadow is dim and quiet. The dew glows faintly silver in the pre-dawn dark. The wildflowers nod gently. A small bird, somewhere far off, sings a single, soft note and then falls silent. The meadow hums with patient, ancient peace. And the long, kind memory of every time you have ever stood in a quiet field, or walked along a still shore, or sat beneath an old wide tree, settles around you like a warm woven shawl, smelling faintly of grass and rain, holding you in the long, patient embrace of the natural world that has always loved you. The brain's soft chemical of oxytocin, scientists tell us, flows particularly well in the gentle warmth of imagined embraces. Picture a small inner figure who even now holds you slowly and kindly within the warmest part of your chest. The figure is anyone you wish, a beloved person, a beloved animal, the kind self of you when you are most at peace. Tonight the embrace is slow, the arms are warm, the breath against your shoulder is steady, patient, loving. The figure says nothing, there is nothing to say, the embrace itself is the sentence, the prayer, the lullaby. And the long, soft oxytocin tide that flows through your inner kingdom in this moment quiets every chamber, softens every path, dims every lantern, until the entire inner country sleeps in the warmth of being deeply, gently, perfectly held. The limbic system, scientists say, also delights softly in the small wonders of repetition. A familiar tea, a familiar chair, a familiar quiet way of folding into evening. Imagine a small inner shelf, where each beloved daily ritual rests like a porcelain cup, painted gently with the patterns of your life. Tonight, the shelf is dim, the cups glow faintly. Each one represents a kind, small repetition, a morning stretch, an evening cup of warm something, a quiet way of pulling the blankets close. The shelf hums with the soft music of a life kept gently tended. The cups are still. The shelf glows, and the long, patient comfort of small daily kindnesses, the soft, repeated acts of loving yourself in quiet ways, folds itself around you like a familiar bathrobe in the cool blue hush of late evening, warming you, holding you, easing you toward the deep. Scientists have learned that even brief moments of peace leave long, soft impressions in the limbic system, like footprints in warm sand. Imagine a small inner shore at dusk, where every quiet pause of your life has left a single soft footprint in the cool sand. Tonight the shore is calm. The waves whisper faintly. The footprints glow softly silver beneath the rising moon. There are more than you might imagine. The small pause before sipping morning tea, the soft moment of watching light fall through a window, the quiet breath taken before answering a kind question. The shore hushes, the footprints glow, and the long, gentle map of every peaceful moment you have ever known stretches before you in the dim, patient light. Proof that peace has visited you many times and is visiting you again, even now beside the sleeping sea. Within the limbic system, scientists tell us, there are quiet pathways that grow more easily with rest. Imagine a small inner meadow that, while you sleep, gently regrows the softest grass, the freshest petals, the most fragrant herbs. Tonight this meadow is preparing to do its slow, kind work. The earth glows faintly. The seeds stir gently in the dark, soft soil. The night air is cool and patient. And as you slip deeper into sleep, the inner meadow begins its quiet renewal, weaving fresh tenderness into your inner ground, weaving fresh kindness into your inner air, weaving fresh patience into your inner light. By morning, the meadow will be a little softer, a little kinder, a little more alive. But for tonight, it sleeps with you. Breathing in the same slow rhythm, working its quiet magic in the gentlest, most patient dark. The hippocampus, that small seahorse, also holds the soft hope of mornings. Imagine, far away, a faint pale light upon a horizon, not yet a sunrise, only the soft promise of one. Tonight, this gentle promise glows quietly within you, far off and patient, like the first faint blush of sky before the dawn. You do not need to reach for it. You do not need to think of it. It simply is, waiting, faithful, kind. The seahorse drifts past it slowly. The inner sea hushes. And the long, soft promise of another gentle morning, another cup of tea, another small kindness, another quiet beginning, rests upon the edge of your awareness, like a small, glowing pearl set gently upon a velvet cushion, asking nothing of you tonight, only waiting, patiently, for the long sweet sleep to do its work. Scientists tell us that the limbic system holds deep within itself the soft instinct to heal. Imagine a small inner spring of pale, glowing water, hidden in a quiet grotto that flows softly all through the night, washing the inner kingdom in gentle, tender light. Tonight, the spring is full. The water glows the color of moonlight on snow. It moves slowly, patiently, into every chamber of your inner country, smoothing every rough place, softening every weary edge. The grotto hums quietly, the water glows, and the long, kind work of inner healing, the slow, patient mending that sleep has always done, flows tenderly through every part of you, asking nothing in return, simply giving, simply soothing, simply making you a little softer, a little kinder, a little more whole, while you rest in the deep, sweet velvet of night. And so we come to the last of our slow, soft facts. Imagine a single small lantern, the very last one in the inner kingdom, glowing faintly upon the steps of a quiet wooden cottage at the heart of all things. The cottage is yours. The lantern is yours. The night is yours. Tonight, that last lantern dims to its softest amber, casting a small, warm circle upon the wooden steps. The cottage breathes. The kingdom sleeps. The lanterns of feeling, of memory, of warmth, of kindness are all dim and resting. And you, dear listener, stand for a moment in the warm, small circle of that final lantern, nodding kindly to the inner kingdom that has carried you so faithfully through your life. Then you turn, slowly, and walk softly through the cottage door, into the long, kind dark of the deepest, sweetest sleep there has ever been. And so the inner kingdom dims, gently and entirely, around you. The little lantern keeper of the amygdala has set down his small brass lamp upon a velvet cushion. The seahorse of the hippocampus drifts in slow, dreaming circles through the warm, dark waters of memory. The kind gardener of the hypothalamus has dimmed every lantern in his small greenhouse and sits with folded hands upon a wooden bench, watching the moon. The pearl of the thalamus glows faintly at the center of all things, soft as cooled candle wax, and the long pearl-colored ribbon of the cingulate cortex winds quietly through the inner country, no longer carrying messages, only humming the same low lullaby as the slow tide of your breath. The mapmaker of memory has rolled his last gentle scroll. The librarian of meaning has closed her last beloved book. The translator of feeling has set down his quill upon the soft, glowing pages of the day. The choir of small sensations has drifted into a wordless hum so quiet it is barely a song at all. The harp in the velvet-curtained room plays one last, slow note, and then falls silent upon the warm wooden floor. The orchard of kindness leans heavy with ripe fruit. The pond of gratitude glows faintly with floating paper lanterns. The meadow of joy sleeps beneath 1,000 folded petals. The forest of curiosity dreams beside its dim golden lamps. The shore of peace lies hushed beneath the patient rising of the moon. The cottage of warmth breathes slow ribbons of pale smoke into a sky thick with kind, watching stars. Every chamber of feeling is dim. Every river of thought is slow. Every keeper of the inner life sleeps gently in the same warm room, breathing in time with you, dreaming the same kind dream. And you, dear listener, are the soft heart of this entire quiet country, held, loved, and kept safe by every gentle thing that has ever lived inside you. The inner kingdom rests because you rest. The lanterns dim because you dim. The night kneels softly beside your bed and folds its great kind hands over the long, sweet velvet of your sleep. And now, dear listener, the long, slow journey has carried you to the very edge of sleep. The blanket has grown warm around you, soft as a slow tide of honey. The pillow has shaped itself to the kindest curve of your head. The room is dim, gentle, faithful, a small, quiet harbor at the end of a long, kind day. There is nothing more to do. Nothing more to think. Nothing more to hold. The inner kingdom has folded its lanterns into amber sleep. The little keepers of feeling have curled into their small velvet beds. The seahorse of memory drifts in slow, dreaming circles. The pearl of the thalamus glows faintly, faithful as moonlight. And every chamber, every garden, every river, every shore within you breathes the same slow, peaceful breath as you. If you have enjoyed this slow and soothing journey, you may quietly tap the like button and softly subscribe to Deep Sleep Science, so that more long, gentle nights like this one may find their way to you and to others searching for a little rest in the great, kind dark. There is no rush, only when it feels right. Only when it feels gentle. You are loved, you are safe, you are deeply, infinitely held. The night kneels beside your bed like an old, faithful friend, folding its great kind hands over the long velvet of your sleep. The stars hum their patient song far above the rooftops. The small lanterns of the inner kingdom glow faintly, faithfully, watching over you with the soft devotion of every gentle thing that has ever lived inside a human heart. Let your eyelids feel heavy as warm velvet. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath grow slow as the long tide of a quiet sea. Let the room around you dissolve into the soft, dreaming dark. Let yourself fall, slowly, slowly, into the deepest, kindest sleep there has ever been. Soft music in 432 Hz will continue gently for a while longer, like a faint lullaby drifting through the corridors of an old, beloved house, fading slowly, slowly like a candle burning low at the end of a long and tender night. Good night, and sleep deeply.